Mira saved a pear tree from winter and nearly killed it with protection. In this original Buddhist parable, one late frost follows a gardener for years until every new season looks dangerous. When the tree's roots begin circling inside the clay that kept them safe, she faces the question at the heart of letting go. How do you honor what protected you without letting it imprison you? Her answer will be tested when the cold returns on the very night she finally plants the tree. Mira had grown up in an orchard. She could graft a broken branch, read rain in the smell of soil, and tell by touch when fruit was ready. Then one spring, after several warm days, she decided winter had ended. Though her family warned her to wait, she moved dozens of young trees from shelter into the open field. That night, a late frost descended. By sunrise, the new leaves were black. Her family replanted what they could. No one called her careless. Mira did that for them. She replayed the choice until every row of the orchard seemed to accuse her. Years passed, but whenever a decision mattered, she searched for a hidden frost. She delayed planting, reversed plans, and called her fear wisdom. Finally, she climbed to a hillside monastery known for its gardens. She found the elder teacher repairing a wooden gate. "How do I silence a memory?" she asked. He put down his tool and led her to the nursery. In the corner stood a young pear tree in a clay pot. "Keep this tree alive through winter," he said. "When you understand what it needs, you may understand your memory." Mira accepted. Through the cold months, she watched the tree with exhausting care. She moved it away from the wind, checked the soil twice a day, and wrapped the clay on freezing nights. The pear tree survived. When the days lengthened, green buds appeared. The other gardeners carried their young trees into the orchard. Mira left hers in the pot. "The ground is warm," one gardener said. "So was it last time," Mira answered. A week passed, then another. Birds gathered straw. The first blossoms opened on the hillside. Mira built a screen around the pot in case the wind returned. She stretched cloth above it in case of hail. She moved it farther from the doorway in case the nights turned sharp. Each precaution made sense alone. Together, they kept the tree in the darkest corner of the nursery. Its leaves opened, then slowly lost their color. Water ran across the hard surface of the soil and escaped down the sides. One morning, Mira saw a white root pushing through the hole beneath the pot. She called the elder. He tipped the pot gently. The roots were packed against the clay, circling one another with nowhere to go. "It needs more protection," Mira said. "A larger pot." "It needs the earth," he replied. Mira looked toward the open orchard. "That is where trees freeze." "The frost harmed your trees once," the teacher said. "Since then, you have made winter the master of every season." Anger rose in Mira, and then grief. She had asked to be freed from a memory. He was asking her to risk the same loss again. What if the cold returns? Then we answer the cold that is here. We do not imprison spring because winter is possible. He handed her a small wooden blade and asked her to loosen the soil from the rim. Mira could not move. The pot had kept the tree alive. Breaking it felt reckless. Worse, it felt ungrateful. The teacher waited. "Do not despise the pot," he said at last. "It served the tree when its roots were small. Thank it. Then look honestly at what it is doing now." That changed the task. Mira did not have to call her caution foolish. She did not have to deny the frost or forgive herself in a single breath. She only had to admit that yesterday's shelter had become today's limit. Together, they eased the tree from the clay. Even after the pot was gone, The roots held its round shape. Mira loosened the outer roots with her fingers, dug a wide hole, and lowered the tree into the orchard. Beneath the open sky, it looked painfully small. That night, the wind turned cold. Mira woke before dawn and ran outside with a lantern. Her first impulse was to dig up the tree and carry it back to shelter. The elder was already there with straw and a length of cloth. "You said not to fear winter," she protested. "I said to meet the season that is here." They covered the branches and spread straw over the soil. They protected the tree without confining its roots. By noon, the cold had passed. Several leaves were damaged, but the tree remained in the earth. Mira saw the difference. Fear tried to remove the tree from life. Care answered a real cold night and left the tree free to grow. For days, nothing seemed to change. Under the soil, however, the roots were leaving their old circle. When new growth appeared, it reached in directions the pot had never allowed. Before Mira left the monastery, she asked whether the frost would ever disappear from her memory. "Perhaps not," the teacher said. "A garden does not become wise by forgetting winter. It stays alive by answering the season that has arrived." This original parable echoes foundational Buddhist teachings. Conditioned things change, and clinging is bound up with suffering. Mira's mistake is not that she remembers winter. It is that she lets one winter dictate every season. The lesson is not that caution is weakness, or that letting go means trusting everyone, abandoning boundaries, or pretending pain was harmless. The pot was not evil. It became a problem when Mira stopped asking whether it still served life. The same change can happen after betrayal. Vigilance may help you recognize what happened and protect yourself. Later, it may force a trustworthy person to answer every day for someone else's lie. You do not have to invite the person who hurt you back into your life. But you can judge the person in front of you by present actions, rather than making a new relationship serve an old sentence. After failure, preparation can help you recover. Then, preparation becomes an endless waiting room. You take one more course, revise the plan again, and promise to begin when doubt is gone. The past controls the future without ever repeating itself. Letting go may be as ordinary as sending the application, showing the draft, or risking one honest attempt with what you know today. Grief can form another kind of pot. A routine, an object, or a promise may preserve connection when loss is fresh. Later, you may begin to believe that laughter, love, or a new plan would betray the person who died. Releasing the old form of the bond does not erase love. It allows love to travel with a life that must keep changing. Guilt needs a different test. Healthy remorse points toward repair. Tell the truth, apologize without excuses, restore what you can, and change the behavior. Self-punishment keeps holding the trial after every useful action is complete. Pain alone does not repair the past. Sometimes, responsibility means living differently long enough for the lesson to become visible. So, when an old reaction takes over, begin by naming the winter in plain language. "I trusted someone who lied" is more truthful than "I am a fool." "I made a decision that failed" leaves room to learn. "I ruin everything" closes the gate. Then notice the pot. What did you build to prevent that pain from returning? Distance? Control? Perfectionism? Constant work? Refusal to begin? Do not shame the defense. It formed for a reason, and attacking it often makes it tighten. Acknowledge what it tried to protect. Now check the season. What evidence belongs to today? Is danger actually present? Has the person changed, the setting changed, or your own capacity changed? Are you responding to what is happening, or only to what it resembles? Give the present one small patch of open earth. Have the conversation without rehearsing every ending. Submit work before it feels invulnerable. Put away one object while keeping the memory it represents. Offer the apology, make the repair, and let changed conduct speak. Small actions matter because they give the mind new evidence. There may still be cold nights. Letting go does not promise that you will never be hurt again. It gives you something more honest. The ability to meet a new hurt as new, instead of surrendering every future choice to an old one. Your past belongs in your wisdom. It does not deserve complete control of your attention, your relationships, or your next decision. Remember Mira's pear tree. The shape that once protected life can eventually prevent life from expanding. You do not have to curse the pot. You only have to recognize when the roots are asking for more earth. Think of one protection from your past that has become too small for the life you are living now. Silence, control, delay, distance, or self-punishment. You do not need to describe the wound. If you want, name only the habit in the comments and the small patch of open earth you will give yourself this week. If this parable helped you, share it with someone who may need a gentler way to let go, and subscribe for more stories that turn Buddhist wisdom into practical reflection. In the next story, we will explore what comes after release, how to begin again when freedom itself feels unfamiliar. The past can teach you without choosing every step. Meet the season that is here and give your roots room to grow.